Welcome to the Flexera 1 home screen. In this video, you'll learn how to gather information about optimization opportunities for your PaaS services. PaaS is a platform as a service, for example, Databricks, Synapse, SQL managed instances, NetApp resources, and many others. We'll walk through the steps of identifying the appropriate Flexera policy to apply and then apply this with the appropriate parameters. We will also look at how the recommendations are consolidated into the optimization dashboard. By the end of this tutorial, you'll be able to work with Flexera's PaaS Service Optimization capabilities. By the end of this tutorial, you'll be able to work with Flexera's PaaS Service Optimization capabilities. To access this feature, you would navigate to the Automation Catalog. The link is within the left side pane, Automation Catalog. We will filter to the appropriate policy. We will look at the Azure Right Size SQL database policy. This is a managed relational database service provided by Azure. As you can see, we have multiple policies to address capabilities. So we have the Azure Right Size SQL database policy. We have the Azure Right Size SQL database storage policy. We also have the Azure Right Size SQL managed instances and the corresponding instance storage. Each of these policies has a README file, and by clicking on this, I can open the README file. The README file provides the full set of documentation, including parameters, exclusions, and any conditions that apply to this policy. Flexera also provides details to the logic within the code. By clicking here, the user has access to the code to review and to optionally extend. However, in most cases, the parameters are sufficient to meet most requirements. When I use the button here to apply the policy, I can enter the parameters that are relevant to me. This policy can be applied multiple times for multiple subsets of your estate with different parameters, thereby providing you with an optimal set of optimization recommendations which are feasible. Some of the interesting parameter inputs are provided at the lower end of the screen. So for example, the minimum age. So if you want to exclude databases that have been created recently and not yet been used with the full load and hence may not meet the thresholds that you're setting up, you could ignore or you could enter a value to ignore some of those recently created databases. You could allow or deny certain regions. You could set up the statistical interval for collecting the cloud telemetry. You could change the look back period, and you can also use a threshold statistic of either average, maximum, or a percentile, depending on your objective. And of course, different thresholds can be used in order to set up different thresholds for different instances of this policy. And you can choose to include unused and underutilized instances or just select one of them. Currently, I will go and select the unused and underutilized and apply this policy. Once I apply the policy, the Flexera CCO product applies this particular logic against the data and applies the findings and consolidates that into a optimization dashboard. The optimization dashboard is available from Cloud Optimization. This provides a summary of the various types of usage recommendations, and this particular policy output is included in the right size database instance section. To access the details, I would click on All Recommendations. I've already grouped this by the policy set, and I typically do this to find recommendations easily. If I expand the right size database instances, I can look at the policy I applied over here. So there are multiple recommendations that have come out and they're ordered by the savings. So from the Azure right size SQL database, if I click over here, I get a slide out which provides me a lot of information about things like the potential savings, details about the particular resource name, the resource group, the type of service, the recommendation information here. I also get tag and rule-based dimensions if any of these apply. I can also scroll through the entire screen to find out a lot of details within the columns, and I can export all of these using the download button to use externally. Now that you understand Flexera's optimization approach for PaaS services, you can go ahead and apply the Flexera policies which are relevant for your requirements to reduce your PaaS costs.